We're here at Ashton Park School in Bristol, which, as you can see from the banner, is officially a good school. Ofsted says so. Now, the fact that this great big banner is here outside the school is partly because of competition between schools. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing for parents and for their children? The Centre for Market and Public Organisation at Bristol University has been trying to find out.
So what we were looking at was whether school league tables were helpful to parents in choosing the school or not. Whether parents who used school league tables to find the right school for their child did better on average than parents who just picked a school at random. So we got some data, some information on all of the school children in England over the past 6 or 7 years, and we statistically modelled the outcome of choosing a school according to a school league table against choosing a school at random from the set of schools that that parent could feasibly choose from. And what we found was that the traditional school league table, the proportion of children getting at least 5 good passes at GCSE, was very useful to parents. So what we found was that on average it would help twice as many parents, twice as many families as it would actually hinder.
I'm talking to Mr. Chris Gardner, who's the head here at Ashton Park. Now, Ashton Park obviously is a good school. The Ofsted report said so. Ofsted reports, league tables, the idea that you can choose between a number of schools. There's a lot of factors for parents to take into account. How on earth do you choose a good school for your Year 6 child?
I think you go to more than 2 or 3 schools and you have a look at 2 or 3 schools and you get which is the most appropriate ethos for your school, which is the atmosphere when you're walking around. Don't just go to the open evenings, go to the visits while the school's in action, so you can see it for yourself. But I think the greatest accolade a school can have is when the existing parents talk to you and give it a really good message about the school. But as a parent, you've got to balance your child's wishes and what they want versus your beliefs and what you want for your child. And that's quite a difficult thing to do, because sometimes the pupils will want to go with their friends to a school because their friends are going, but it may not be the school you think is appropriate as a parent for your child.
Let me ask you to cast your mind back to the time when you were choosing a secondary school for your children. Did you at any stage look at what the schools were doing on the league tables?
Not really, no. I was more keen to get my gut feeling of the place, and I had actually come myself to the open sort of school visit for what would have been the previous year's children coming. So, and I came during the daytime, so it was nice to see the school at work rather than anything that might have been sort of chivied up really or dressed up to be good, So I think if you're seeing a school at work, like if you see anywhere else at work, I think that can give you quite a good idea of if something's good or not so good, really.
Word of mouth was important to us, personal recommendation. We did look at the league tables, but what was more important to us than comparing with other schools, I think, was to look at how the school had performed year on year, and just the fact that it was getting better each year impressed us.
Although we looked around other schools, we came here and the feeling was right, to be honest. It just felt right. If Ashton Park were at the bottom of the league tables, then it may have been different. But we knew they were doing well, so I don't think it did make a difference.
Do you feel that you're in competition with all these other schools? Does it feel competitive?
I think that the answer to that depends on where you are in the pecking order, if you like, if I'm quite honest about it. If you're a school that has low levels of admission to you, then it must feel very, very important that you get as many parents into your school. If you're one of these schools that's highly oversubscribed, and there aren't that many in Bristol, but if they are highly oversubscribed, then obviously it isn't as that competitive because you know you're going to fill. The question really is, though, do you want to sell your school to all the parents and show it in its best light? And I think any head teacher would want to do that, to be proud of their school, to show parents around, to say this is who we are. You choose if you think we're appropriate for your particular child's needs.
Do you think it's healthy that schools compete with each other?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's healthy because it keeps you on your toes. Like any industry, any model you want to look at, people have to be kept ticking over to make sure they're doing not just a good enough job, but a better job every year and improving on it. And obviously, if there's an element which says you need to recruit X number of children, then that part of that process, that competitiveness, if there isn't enough children to go around, keeps you on your toes, and it drives up standards. I'm sure it would do. And therefore, yes, there is a selling exercise, if you like, but I think it's also a case of pride in what you're doing.
Well, we feel that school league tables are worth keeping. There's a debate going on at the moment. Michael Gove has just established a review of school league tables. And I think one of the points from this research is that school league tables are useful to parents choosing a school. And if we simply abandoned them, parents would struggle to find the right school.